Good morning and welcome to the vlog. We've got like a chill day. Not much. We're gonna get washing done and then hit breakfast. So we just took our laundry in and we paid more than you'd have to. The rate he said was 50k per kilo, so mine was like 2.2 kilos, so I paid like 110,000, about $11, and then we found a place that was literally half the price, 25k per kilo. But that's the thing about like shopping in these areas and going to restaurants and stuff in general. The more you get away from the touristy areas, the cheaper things will get, but you pay for the convenience, I guess. It's still not too big of a deal, but anyway, we got these ice creams. Gonna give them a try. Got a taro and a corn one. I'm gonna try this corn one first. It definitely smells a lot like corn when you first open it. As you can see there on my tongue, there's actual corn in it. This is nice. It tastes like corn, but it's still sweet and like creamy. It's got chunks of corn in it. Pretty interesting. It's like 12k. They buy streets, but this is nice. Rating 7.6. Here we got the taro, obviously purple. Yeah, it has a more subtle flavour than the taro. It's like if you get a taro bubble tea, but you could probably compare it to like vanilla. Like, it's hard to describe, but the flavor's not too strong, but it's nice. Right, this one a 7.2 out of 10. So we haven't really been doing too much today, so I just thought to add some value to this vlog, I'd discuss a few topics. First one is the things I like about Bali. So obviously the cheapness. It's like pretty much all Southeast Asian countries, the money goes a long way here. It depends on how much you obviously want to spend. You've got luxury, like more villas, but even then for what you're getting, it's good value. The food, especially if you eat at the rarungs, but you've always got your Western restaurants where you'll pay similar to back at home prices. You know, activities are cheap, bikes are cheap, grabs, yeah, so obviously the cheapness. The second thing I like about Bali is the temple, the monuments and statues you see everywhere. Like, you'll be driving on the road and you'll see these like massive like figurines with like bow and arrows, swords, like standing on waves, and they're just like in big roundabouts, and they're freaking, the attention to detail and like the craftsmanship, and that's something you notice especially driving past Ubud. Lots of these like sort of furniture, crafts stores, and some of the sculptures and stuff they produce are pretty crazy. So the third thing, obviously the warm weather, but it can get a bit too much. It can go both ways. Another thing that's good about Bali is obviously the beaches and the islands. So Bali's one island, the biggest one. Then you've got Lombok, Nusa Penida, and the Gillies Islands. You've got that option to get away from mainland Bali for a more quiet, but even now like Nusa Penida is a big touristy area now, but you've got them options and like the scenery, especially Nusa Penida. It's known for that iconic sort of rock formation and the cliffs, and yeah, just the scenery and the beaches. So Bali's not all sunshine and cheap beer. Yeah, obviously there's quite a few things that I don't like about Bali. Obviously, people trying to scam you. We had a pickpocketing experience yesterday, and the thing with the people is like most of them genuinely seem like good, genuine people, but then you get those ones that like you'll have a bad experience, and then it just sits in your head, and it's hard to like forgive them, and it makes you start to think, oh, are these people just being nice so they can you know, try and like take advantage of you and like and try and scam you eventually. One thing that's it can get a bit like annoying is like you see, especially the Aussie tourists, like how rowdy they get.
What's going on, buddy? Yeah, not a lot. How you going? Yeah. Oi, the people want Jar.
And it's obviously at the disrespectful level. Like I was going on a tour at 1:30 in the morning, a hike, and a guy smashed his bottles all over the front, like near the front lobby, and like, you get these Aussies and they're just so reckless, like they get to a stupid level of intoxication where like, and they just act like complete idiots. And especially in a country like this, and you know, all respect goes out the window, and then like they wonder why these things happen to them. But yeah, that's one thing that can get a bit annoying. Obviously, if you're staying in Kuta, you've got to sort of expect that. It is annoying to see. Another thing that I don't like about Bali is the traffic, because we've been taking a lot of grabs, and we've had a private driver, and the traffic, you'll travel like 20 k's and it'll take you like an hour and a half. It's obviously the roads aren't up to scratch. If you're driving a scooter, it's obviously you're gonna get around a bit quicker. I would definitely not recommend hiring a car, but if you're with a driver or a grab, you've got to just be patient with the traffic. One thing I found a bit sort of disappointing about Bali was the amount of rubbish on the sides of the roads. One thing like that stood out to me was we were up in the south near Uluwatu, and I just seen like it was only simple. I just seen a guy throw some like rubbish, like it was a bottle on the side of the road, and it just like made me start looking around more, and you just notice so much rubbish, and for such like a beautiful island. Yeah, it's a bit sad to see that type of thing, but what you will notice is they are making a lot of efforts to use more like reusable goods. Like you'll see, especially with the straws, they'll use like metal straws, like sort of bamboo straws. You'll see like you won't get plastic bags at all really, and if you do, it's like those paper reusable bags. So it seems like they are making an effort, but you will notice a lot of rubbish on the sides of the roads. One thing you're definitely gonna hate about Bali is the people trying to sell you stuff, the massage people out the front, obviously the shop owners, yeah, everyone trying to sell you stuff, taxis, like. And one thing that's frustrating is that wait like right out front of the hotel, and it's always annoying. You like walk out the hotel and first thing, taxi. Obviously they'll say like, oh, where are you going, sir? And they'll try and start a conversation. But yeah, it's definitely an annoyance. Over time you get used to it. For me personally, like I seem to sweat a lot more than a lot of people do in this heat, and that's another thing you've got to keep in mind. Like you most likely will sweat a lot, and it does get a bit too much at times, but that's another thing that's not the best about Bali. The last thing you won't like about Bali is the amount of tourists. Obviously, I guess you're a tourist yourself, but it is something to keep in mind. Like it's not going to be like sort of the quiet getaway you think of, but yeah, obviously it's packed with tourists, and Bali's no longer unknown island in Southeast Asia. So now I'll talk about the things I'll do differently if I had to come back to Bali. First one would be to like break up your itinerary with different staying at different locations around Bali. So Ubud, Seminyak, and then you've got your other islands like Nusa Penida. So breaking up the trip and staying in different locations so you get a different vibe, get the experience more of Bali. The second thing I'd do differently next time would be not eat at as many Western restaurants, especially on the main street here in Legian, because it's obviously pretty expensive and the food quality it's not that good. The thing is, you want to move out of the main sort of touristy areas, and the more you get out of that area, the cheaper the prices are going to get, because it's not the food that Western people usually want. So yeah, the Indonesian food, they sell it at places called warungs, and usually a meal will be about 25k, about $2.50. So you've got your mai goreng, or like fried rice, and you've got your satay. It's all fresh and good food, cheap. So that's what I do different. So they're just some of my thoughts and first impressions of Bali. Yeah, we didn't do too much today, so I thought I'd just share that to add something to the video. But anyway, tomorrow we're heading to the Water Bomb water park. That's just there in Kuta, so that looks pretty sick. Yeah, anyway, I'll see you in tomorrow's video.